feel like it. But generally I say, with the model where you're very close to be linked to the parliament, you have some limitations in what kind of issues you can work with and what kind of work modes you can use. But on the other hand, you have this very close relation to parliament, and that is also important. So you can easily bring knowledge into parliament. While when you're more detached, like for example the Danish Board of Technology, which has an independent role, then we have access to the parliament, but it's not as easy to bring knowledge into the policy making process as it is if you're very closely linked to the parliament. On the other hand, we have more freedom to work with the general public, more freely decisional power about what issues to take up, things like that. So there are many pros and cons of both models, but I think maybe what is most important is that there's no one model of PTA in Europe, and there are not three models either. The three models is a good way of presenting sort of a grouping of different institutions, but I think when you look at the institutions, you will see that they all have individual differences, and that is to a large degree because when you want to do technology assessment, you have to apply to the political system of the country, and it's very important to relate the institutionalization very much to the way you do policy making in your country, and thereby being able to bring knowledge into policy making in the most relevant way. So unfortunately, there's no one model that can be copied into a system, or no three models in which you can pick one. But I think it's good that you, for example, have identified the most important, so to speak, general model of the three, which you will lean on, but then you should definitely look at the political system of the Czech Republic and modify your own model, which will be the most relevant one, and you can take the best from different experiences.
Možná mohla bych požádat vlámského kolegu Johana Everse, jestli by k tomu řekl pár slov taky ze své TA instituce. Děkuji.
So I have no idea what you said at the end, but I understood that you mentioned my name. But I think that well, I think what Anders said was already very important. There is no real one way to do it, and we experienced in the Flemish region, the northern part of Belgium, the vulnerabilities, what it means to be an independent institute that's very strongly linked to the parliament, because our main client was the parliament, but the main funder was the parliament as well. And when the funder says we don't fund you anymore, you're no longer an independent institute, whatever mission you would like to have. So we are now looking for, we have found new ways of funding our activities through the government, which means that we are now going to a transition phase from an independent institute linked to the parliament to an independent institute linked to the government and a research organization. So it is what Anders says, it is not because you choose now for one setting that fits mostly your institutional context in the Czech Republic. It can change over the years, just as it changes here with us in Belgium. It changes over years, it can change, and that's not a shame, and it's an ongoing challenge, of course, to fit the most pertinent needs in your institutional and political context. So I think that it's an ongoing task, and it's not because you were founded that you will stay forever. It's not because you are in a crisis that you will face sudden death. It is an ongoing challenge, and you have to meet the political changes that are going on in your country while being rational enough to have a meta look on these changes.